verse 11. Huh? Yeah. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Who are we? We are the Hebrew Israelites, coming out back again, once again, on the Sabbath day to teach you the Bible. So if you have any questions, come and feel free to ask us, and we'll answer all your questions. Yeah, read.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time.
And the Most High said, and that what?
Knowing the time.
And that knowing the time. What is the Most High speaking about? He doesn't mean the actual time on your phones, your watches, or your cable boxes. Not that type of time. The time he's talking about is the time of what's going on today in these last days. That's what the Most High is speaking about. Read.
That now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
That now it's high time to do what?
Awake out of sleep.
To awake out of sleep. You have any questions? You have any questions?
Excuse me.
Huh? Yeah, you know.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
Okay. And
the night is far spent. The day is at hand.
Start over again.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
That's Hold up a second. You will be from the tribe of Ephraim. You've been known as a Puerto Rican today. Well, your biblical name is Ephraim. No such thing as Puerto Rican.
How about Arabic?
Arabic? Arabic, that's Arab. That's Israel.
Where's that?
Not on there.
Ishmael?
Israel. That's another nation. That's not a part of the 12 tribes. That's part of another nation. Another nation, group of people.
The son of Abraham. Oldest son. Abraham's oldest son named Ishmael.
Right. So what you gotta do is repent, come back, keep the commandments, and that's it. So when Christ come back, he's gonna deliver us, and we're gonna be saved. Not everybody. Remember, he's come back to do a lot of killing. He's gonna come back for the righteous. What is that? That's what he's gonna do. When Christ come back, he's not coming to play no game. Let's get that. They not destroy. Matthew 10:34. Because a lot of people paint the picture of Christ as something weak and effeminate, which is not. Christ was hardcore. You understand? He didn't play with our people, but he showed compassion. Like y'all just show compassion.
Is he white or black?
He's a black.
Yes, we want us to give it to you.
Yeah, let's get that. Yeah.
Right? He was Jewish, right?
Yeah, he was a black man.
No, he was a so-called
Jew. He was Jewish. He was a Jew, not Jewish.
Right.
It's
Jew.
a difference.
Look at that.
A Jew. That's
Yeah,
right.
And then
you know if
1034.
you're from, you said you're Arabic, right?
Palestine.
Oh, you know about the Palestinians. They're dark people. So how could the people that inhabit the land now
I know.
be the real Jews? And they're white. They're not. They're
I know.
converts.
Brown skin.
Yeah, he was
Olive skin.
Right.
What color is an olive?
My color.
No, an olive is actually dark. You have a green
Darker?
olive and you got a black olive. So if he was described as olive skin, then which olive would he be? There's nobody walking around green. So he was a black man. Yeah, we're going to give you the actual account of what he looked like. Revelation chapter 1 verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
So this is John speaking. John said he turned to see the what?
The voice that spake with me.
The voice that spake with him. It's because somebody was talking to him. When you turn and somebody's speaking to you, that means there's another voice there besides your voice, right?
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
And being turned, John saw 7 golden candlesticks, right?
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks,
In the midst of the 7 candlesticks, right?
one like unto the Son of Man.
One like to the Son of Man. Now who is the Son of Man? Who the word English we call? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is not his name. His name is Jehovah in the Hebrew, right?
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Clothed with the garment. So John looked and he saw a person that was clothed with the garment down to a foot. When you read the dictionary, you look up the word garment. Garment just means clothing. That's it, right?
And girt about the paths with a golden girdle.
And girt about the path with what?
Golden girdle.
With a golden girdle, a solid gold girdle. Not with black, just solid gold. Okay, right?
His head and his hair.
His what?
his head and his hairs.
Say his head and his hairs were what?
White like wool.
Were white like wool. Now, which nation on the earth has heads woody textured and black? It's the so-called blacks and Hispanics. Right?
As white as snow.
As what?
As white as snow.
As white as snow, meaning turned fully gray, right?
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
See, and his eyes were the flame of fire, meaning because why? He drank wine, right?
And his feet like unto fine brass.
And his feet what?
Like unto fine brass.
And his feet like unto fine brass. Brass is another color. What's the color of ribbons of a brown? Okay, right?
As if they burn in a furnace.
So he looked so dark. He was what?
As if they burned in a furnace.
So it looked like he was burned in a furnace. Now you put anything into an oven, it what? It looked like it burned. Burns it what?
As if it burned in a furnace.
It looked like it was burned in a furnace. Right?
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice as the sound of many waters. Christ spoke very loud. So when people hear him, they know that was him, but he spoke with a loud voice, right?
And he had in his right hand 7 stars.
So in his hand, you have what?
7 stars.
7 stars. So in Yahweh's right hand was what?
7 stars.
7 stars, right?
And out of his mouth went a 2-edged sword.
So his mouth is what?
A 2-edged sword.
A 2-edged sword, meaning known for killing. When you have a sword, they're known for killing, right?
And his countenance was as the sun shineth in his strength.
So his countenance, it looked like he was shining in the sun. Right? That's it. Now go to Matthew. Now we're going to show you how Christ is. Watch this. Yeah, Matthew 10, verse 34.
Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
This is Christ speaking. Think what?
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
So don't think in your mind that he's coming to send peace on earth. Because he's not coming to do that. Because think about it, when he died, did they show him peace?
No.
They spit, they beat on him, they did all type of stuff to him. That wasn't nice. So you think he's going to come back with peace? No. Right?
I came not to send peace.
He said, I came not to what?
Send peace.
And he didn't come to send peace. Right?
But a sword.
But a sword. Remember, he came with a sword. So now it says what? When you read Revelation, he had his 2-edged sword in his mouth. He's going, when he come back, he's going to go and kill him. You don't come?
I am come not to send peace, but a sword.
But a sword. So he come back with a sword. Yeah, we saying that? We saying something. Yes, he's coming to kill.
Kill who?
To kill who? The wicked races. Yeah, that's what he's coming to do. Right?
Look, I don't want to be rude, bro.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
All right, man.
I agree with this.
Yeah, got it.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother,
Read on.
and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Read on.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
So a lot of people in the household, and if you're into the truth, a lot of them is going to be your enemies because they don't like what you're bringing out. They don't like what you represent. They don't like what you teach. They don't like what you become. Because why? You became a what? A Hebrew Israelite, knowing that you're a Hebrew Israelite. You was already a Hebrew Israelite from birth. But you're known to be a Hebrew Israelite when you come into the knowledge. Right?
He that loveth father or mother,
He said, he that loveth what?
father or mother,
So he that loveth his parents, father and mother, because everybody had a father and mother, read on.
more than me is
More
not
than Christ is what?
is not worthy of me.
Is not worthy of me. So if you have a mother and father, and you love them more than you love Christ, you're not worthy of him.
That's right.
But Christ doesn't deal with that. You understand? That's what it says you have to come through me. That's what Christ is saying. Not us, talking about Christ. You got it, read?
And he that loveth son or daughter,
So if you love your children, whether you have sons or daughters, read on.
more than me is not worthy of me.
So if you love your children more than you love Christ, you're not worthy of him. Read on.
And he that taketh not his cross.
So he that taketh not his cross. Now what does that mean? You don't take up your cross. What does that mean? You're not carrying the burdens. You understand? You gotta go through a lot. You gotta be talked about, ridiculed, made fun of. You have to keep the commandments. This is what you have to do. What's going on there? Yeah, go ahead.
And followeth after me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross.
And he that taketh not his cross, read on.
And followeth after me.
And follow what?
After me.
And follow after me, what?
Is not worthy of me.
It's not worthy of me. So therefore, if you're not, going through and keeping the commandments and not representing for Christ and the Most High, you are not worthy of Him. That's how that's going down. Come on up. Yeah.
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
He that what?
He that findeth his life shall lose it.
He that findeth his life shall lose it. What is that talking about? Meaning you have to find your life through Christ. You have to believe in Christ. You have to keep the commandments. You have to keep the high holy days. You have to realize who you are. Read on.
And he that loseth his life for my sake.
And he that loseth his life for what?
For my sake.
For my sake. So you have to lose your life for the Most High and Christ's sake. Read on.
Shall find it.
Shall find it. Meaning at the end you're going to be rewarded, because that's a good thing. You understand? You have to represent for the Most High in Christ. You have to speak up for the Most High in Christ. Especially Christ. Because he's been disrespected all over the earth with all the images they have out here.
That's right.
Mama, if you don't protect him, if you don't speak up for him, when you start to be judged by the, when you stand before the Most High, he's not gonna protect you at that time.
Is it still open?
Because you ain't protected him. A lot of you have to understand that Christ is what? Your lawyer against the Most High. Because why? He protects you. He looks out for you. You got to read? That was it? Read that. So you got something? Okay.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 29. And everyone that hath forsaken houses.
And everyone that forsaken what?
Houses.
And everyone that forsaken houses, meaning everyone that forsaken of where you live, read?
Or brethren.
Or brethren, meaning your brothers. Yeah. Okay.
Or sisters.
Or sisters, read?
Or father.
Or father, read?
Or mother.
Or mother, read?
Or wife.
Or what?
Or wife.
Or wife. Read on.
Or children.
Or children, read on.
Or lands.
Or lands, because we're going to have different lands. There's going to be different lands that we're going to conquer when that time comes. Read on.
For my name's sake.
For what?
For my name's sake.
It said for my name's sake. For Yahweh's name's sake. Read.
Shall receive an hundredfold.
Shall receive 100-fold. Read.
And shall inherit everlasting life.
And shall inherit everlasting life. So you're going to have everlasting life through the Most High in Christ. When you speak up for them. When you're for them. Read on. That's it. Go ahead. Go to that.
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord.
It said, for it is a fact that what?
That our Lord.
That our Lord, meaning Yahweh Shai, read?
Sprang out of Judah.
Sprang out of what?
Of Judah.
Sprang out of Judah. So Yahweh Shai came out of the tribe of Judah. He'll be known as the Black American today. That's the proverb in the byword. Read.
Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Read that part over?
14 over?
Yeah, read it good. No, that last part.
Of which tribe Moses,
Of which tribe, what?
Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
Of Moses speak nothing concerning priesthood. Because think about it. Who were the priests back then? It was the Levites. The Levites were the priests, not the Judites. The Levites had a heavy job. They had a serious job. They couldn't play no games with the Most High's word. And Moses was from the tribe of Levi, if you don't know. You know?
And it is yet far more evident.
And it is what?
Far more evident.
And it's far more evident, right?
For that after the similitude of Melchizedek, there ariseth another priest.
Right, so they're going to be rising another priest. But who the priest going into? Yahushua. He's the priest, right?
Who is made, not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life.
You know?
For he testifieth, thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek. For there is verily a
Disannulling, yeah.
But there is verily a disannulling of the commandment going before for the weakness and unprofitableness thereof.
You know?
For the law made nothing perfect.
For the law made nothing what?
Made nothing perfect.
So the Most High, the law that wasn't made perfect, right?
But the bringing in of a better hope did,
Right?
by the which we draw nigh unto God. And inasmuch as not without an oath he was made priest, for those priests were made without an oath.
But those priests were made without an oath. Yeah, what's up, man? Gotta come in. What's up with it? You believe in this? You for it or against it? Huh? Nah, come in, man. Holla at your boy, man. Come in. Yeah, go ahead, you know.
But this with an oath by him that said unto him, the Lord swear and will not repent.
You know?
Thou art a priest forever, after the order of Melchizedek.
Hosea 4:6.
Continue.
Yeah, continue.
By so much was Jesus made surety of a better testament. And they truly were made, and they truly were many priests.
And there truly were many priests. There were a lot of priests at that time. Meaning the Levites. The Levites had a heavy job to do. They had a serious job. They couldn't be playing no games. They wasn't doing voodoo back then. They're doing voodoo now because they don't know who they are. Yeah, get that.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
That part over?
My people.
See what it says there? It says my people. That's possessive right there. Read.
Are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
It said are destroyed for lack of knowledge. What type of knowledge are people destroyed for? Knowledge of the Bible. Not the music industry. Not the gym industry. And not the sports industry. Read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
It said because what? Thou hast rejected knowledge. How do a lot of us reject knowledge? By doing what a lot of you doing today. Don't want to hear the word of the Most High when somebody brings it out. No matter where you at. You pull the shoulder and ignore us when we coming out and preaching his word. Second Chronicles 36:16. Okay, read on.
I will also reject thee.
Yeah. 36:16. I will what?
Also reject thee.
So the Most High says he's going to also reject thee. That's what the Most High says. Because of what? Okay, read.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Read on.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
So the Most High says he's going to also reject thee. Read on.
That thou shalt be no priest to me.
That thou should be no priest to me. So a lot of you he's going to reject. Because why? A lot of you don't want to receive this word. You take this word for a joke. When there's a killing or a lot of stuff happening, y'all want to come up to us. But when everything is back to normal, y'all leave and keep it moving until something else happens. That's how people are. That's why the Most High, he has to kill a lot of our people.
It's a red light. It's a red light. It's
We
a red
don't?
light.
Right, you ain't
Seeing
right, sister.
thou hast forgotten the law of thy God,
Seeing that what?
thou hast forgotten the law of thy God,
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of the Most High. You know?
I will also forget thy children.
So the Most High says, if you forget him, guess what? He's going to forget you. It's fair, right? Of course it's fair. Because you have to do for the Most High. If you forget him, he's going to forget you. Now, what does that mean when he forgets you? There's going to be a lot of killing, a lot of suffering, a lot of dying. Being in hunger. We done?
That's it.
That's it. We done.
2 Chronicles chapter 36, verse 16. But they mocked the messengers of God.
But they mock the messengers of the Most High. A lot of our people is doing this all the time when we come out. They laugh. They call it Power Rangers, WCW belts, WWE belts, right? Ninjas, Avengers,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, read.
And despise his words.
And what?
And despise his words.
And despise his word. A lot of our people despise this word. You know why they despise this word? Because they have been destroyed for lack of knowledge. And also, by what? Not taking the time to listen to the brothers that's bringing out the scriptures. Read.
And misuse his prophets.
And what?
And misuse his prophets.
And misuse his prophets. A lot of our people misuse the prophets. Now you might say, how they do that? Easily. By walking up and down, looking at us crazy while we bringing out the word. That's how. That's one. Rolling your eyes, call us names, try to fight us. Read.
Until the wrath of the Lord arose against his people.
Until the wrath of the what?
Of the Lord arose against his people.
Until the wrath of the Lord rose against his people. Because he's going to get a lot of our people. Because a lot of people are just playing wicked. A lot of people don't want to repent. A lot of our people don't want to change. See, that's the problem right there. The Most High is not going to be playing with our people. The Most High is going to be killing our people left and right. He's killing our people every day. And a lot of our people that are still alive don't see it. They don't see it unless it happened to them or happened to somebody in their family or happened to somebody that they know. Read.
Till there